Welcome back to some more hardcore Minecraft. Last episode was a super productive one. I made a way of getting early game experience by converting the skeleton spawner I found in episode 1 into an experience farm. I massively upgraded my mine entrance because before there was a staircase underneath my house, now it is this building. And then the main build of the episode was this farmhouse for my animals, my cows and my sheep. For this episode though, I would like to focus on my nether portal, as right now it's just chilling out of the ground with no build around it. I would like to dedicate a portion of my starter area to the lore of this world. And I think a cool way of doing that would be to build up a bunch of churches and temples and stuff eventually in this world. So that area is what we're going to be starting today with the Nether Portal Church. And I'll talk more about the lore of this world later in the video, so stay tuned for that. Before I get to that though, we need to deal with some enchantments. Because if you watched all the way through last episode, you would know that I nearly died 3 times building that farmhouse. And that is way too many times for me to feel comfortable. So to begin this episode, I'm gonna grind out the skeleton spawner for a little while and enchant all of my diamond armor. And hopefully I don't have to re-roll too many times to get some good protection enchants. That really did not take all that long, and now we have some really good armor. So we got Unbreaking 3, Protection 4, Respiration 3 on the helmet. We have Protection 4, Unbreaking 3 on the chest piece, Blast Protection 4, Unbreaking 3 in the leggings, and then Unbreaking 3, Protection 4, and Depth Strider 3 on the boots. We are still missing some enchantments, but for the most part, we are good. I'm also fairly certain you're not supposed to have protection on everything. I think you're supposed to have 1 piece of armor without regular protection on it. Because I'm pretty sure if you have 4 pieces with protection, one of the protections isn't doing anything. I could definitely be wrong, but I just remember hearing that. I don't know. That's why I went blast protection on my leggings. Now, this is not all I want to get done with enchantments in this episode, though. Because next up, I would like to try to get a mending villager. So let me clean out my inventory a little bit, and then we'll head off to a village. Thankfully, I've already done some villager trading, so we have a stack and 40 emeralds to spend right now. I'm heading off to the village now, and I have 2 lecterns, along with a couple more books to make some more if needed. Obviously though, I want to keep some of the books that I have so I can actually, buy some enchanted books. But just in case I get some really good enchants before I get mending, I should have enough stuff to make a couple more lecterns. All right, Jim, it's just gonna be me and you for a little while. Please don't make this more painful than it has to be. Oh my, wait, what? What? The actual first enchant I get is mending. I'm just gonna buy a bunch of those. All right, we have 6 mending books now. That was incredibly painless. That's taken me like hours before. Now there's definitely some more enchants I could get from villagers right now, but I think I'm going to worry about those another time. As for right now, let's go ahead and throw mending on everything. That broke the anvil, hold on. Wait, do I not have enough iron to make another anvil? I think I have to make an impromptu mining trip, but at least I was able to get mending on my pickaxe before that broke. Yeah, so let me head back towards spawn where all those big mountains are, and I'm gonna spend a little bit of time in there gathering up a whole lot of iron. I'm gonna say this is enough iron for now. We have about 3 stacks, and then we have a whole bunch of coal now. I also have 3 diamonds here, which is quite bad because I mined 3 diamonds. With fortune 3, should have given me way more than 3. I'm pissed. And I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea if I'm going the right way, but we're just gonna vibe. No, I just killed the boat cow. Oh my god, dude. Somebody please remind me to give boat cow a proper burial, but he was one of my best friends. We also have a boat cow now. That's cool, I guess. He could just come on the journey. And now he's gone. He was taken away way too soon. Hold on, boat cow deserves some flowers. There you go. Rest easy, my friend. And now we have another anvil. So now let me finally throw mending on everything else. I suppose I'll also do a couple pieces of armor. I'll do my chest piece and my leggings. Now we can finally heal up the rest of our tools without having to use diamonds, which I'm going to go do right now. It always feels really good whenever you fully heal up your tools with mending for the first time. But now that we have fresh tools once again, I kind of want to start building. I'm not going to start with the main build of the episode just yet. Instead, I'm going to do a little bit of interior decoration. Because if you saw last episode, I built this farmhouse for the cows and the sheep. The outside looks amazing, in my opinion, but the inside That looks terrible. And I did make it a goal for this series to completely finish every build that I do. My last hardcore world had a bunch of just empty buildings, and I don't want this one to turn out the same way. Now, this section of the library is also completely empty, but I don't really want to finish that right now. I kind of want to wait until I get some villagers over here first, which I'm kind of thinking will be next episode. I feel like we should really get started on that. For right now, though, let me grab some bone meal and some extra bones to make a whole bunch more, and I'm going to have to get a lot of dark oak wood, because I definitely want that to be featured on the inside as well. And I might as well strip this as I'm going. I'm hoping just over 5 stacks of stripped dark oak logs is enough. I don't really think I'm going to need that much. Next up then, I want to grab some of this bamboo wood that I have left over, because I think I want to use these blocks for shelves, kind of like we did here with the spruce wood. I'm also hoping this is enough. If not, I can go punch my bamboo over there a little bit. And by punch, I mean hit with a sword, of course. Can also grab some moss and some mossy cobblestone, because I think this could look cool as a roof with a little bit of this green bamboo block as well. Really quick pause in gathering materials. I need to do something very important. So last episode, I introduced you all to the YouTube membership barrel. And this is where all of my YouTube members are chilling in this world. If you would like to join all these beautiful people, you can click the link in the description and become a Shrambalam, which will get you a block named after yourself in this world. And you can choose the block that you're named after. So, Daxy wants to be changed from an egg to this moss block. So there we go, Daxy, you are now a moss block. And I guess let's see if I can hatch a chicken with your egg. Oh, that would have been really cool. Anyway, though, let me go grab some spruce wood. I might as well just gather up my entire bit of spruce wood over here. I mean, I'm not going to use all this wood right now, but I'm sure I'll find some use for it eventually. Now, as I was at the top of all of those spruce trees, I realized I missed 2 trapdoors on this build in the back. That is incredibly upsetting. Let me go fix that. All right, now it looks much better. Last couple things I'm gonna grab here from my storage room. I'm gonna take some stone stuff and some coarse dirt for the floor of the bottom of the farmhouse. So I think I have everything I'm going to need to at least get a nice layout of what this place is gonna look like. We can come back in here with like some different decorative blocks, like some barrels and some chests and stuff. But I kind of just want to get everything in place for now. And that's gonna start with the floor. The floor looks a little bit more interesting now. I'm not entirely sure how much I like it, but I think I like it enough to let it go for now. Next up then, let me work on the floor for up here, and this is going to be out of spruce wood. We're definitely gonna do some kind of combination of planks and stripped logs. And actually, to add a little bit of interest to the inside here, we're gonna raise the floor up for this section over here. And now I'm just gonna randomly cut away at the floor, and we're gonna fill those gaps in with stripped spruce logs. I honestly might end up changing this floor because this might be too much spruce right now, but kind of like the first floor, I'm good with it enough to keep it for now. Now I'm gonna move back downstairs and let's add in some more detail. It definitely looks like a mess, but I think I have the layout that I'm comfortable with. So obviously over here, this is going to be where the cows can come inside if they want to. Don't really know how much more decoration I'm going to do in here because we're probably gonna have a lot of cows in this area, and they kind of act as the decoration, I guess. There's a lot more I still want to do out here, but let me kind of just walk you through this. So we have a room over here, a little hallway, and then a tiny room back there. And we also have a staircase where I can access the second floor. I still have to designate what each of these rooms is going to be for, but I'm thinking we'll have some kind of storage in here. And this can be where I store all of my like animal products, like the leather, the food, the wool, all that good stuff. And then I'm also thinking I can have a bunch of smokers around here somewhere to obviously cook up all the meat I'm going to get. And then I'm sure we can kind of just have like a crafting area too. So that's the game plan for the downstairs. Now I have to do the same thing for up here, and it's gonna be a little bit trickier because I have random bits of moss peeking through from the ceiling downstairs. Yeah, I really don't know how I'm gonna do this one, but let's see what I can come up with. That took an annoyingly long amount of time. I have no idea if that time lapse is even gonna kind of look decent, because time lapsing inside is really weird. So I may end up cutting the time lapse entirely and just like stitching together a little montage of me building. I don't know. But let me take you through what I just did. This took like all of my brain power to figure out how to divvy up this room, and I'm still not even really that happy with it. But I think it's the best I can come up with. I'm gonna have to get some kind of carpet design to cover this up, but that shouldn't really be a problem. We have this long hallway when you first walk in that leads into another hallway, a little bit wider though, and then into one big back room, which is also connected up to the other side. But there are 2 more rooms over here, and then this is also the staircase to get downstairs, which I actually had to change. I had to make it a little bit skinnier because when it was 2 blocks wide, it was really awkward here in this room. And this room was giving me the most amount of trouble because it was really hard to get like kind of symmetrical. So what I decided to do is have this little like jut out bit over here. I think it kind of fits. I don't know, man. I still don't know if I'm totally in love with up here on the inside. I'm really not great at interior decoration, I gotta be honest. Because every time I look at this, I just keep seeing symmetrical issues, and I don't think it's ever gonna be great because this block should be like right there to make the roof fit, but I don't know, man. I probably will still toy around with this a little bit, but at least I have the layout. I wanted to do my best to transform this interior into a bunch of different rooms, and I think I accomplished that. Now I need to actually put some decorative blocks in here, but I think that's a job for me tomorrow. Because currently, I'm very tired. I've been recording the last couple of hours, and I also work today, so your boy needs to go to bed. It's the next day, and I have a whole bunch of different decorative blocks in my inventory. Also some junk. I don't think I actually need this glass or these 2 empty buckets, but I don't feel like going back to my house right now to put those away. I wanted to use scaffolding for tables down here, but since I used those for the windows as well, I don't really think I can get away with that. So instead down here, let's get a mix of bamboo trapdoors and bamboo slabs. And I can go through here every so often throwing in some shelves. Kind of just randomly throwing these down. I'm not going in any kind of pattern. I feel like it looks better this way. And then on top of these shelves, we can throw some actual chests for some storage. Of course, and some barrels. Love me a good barrel. It's super simple, but I think this works really well for this section of the building. Now moving over here, I actually want to craft up some smokers. Am I able to do that? I do not think I have the necessary materials. Hold on a second. All right, I have all the furnaces and the smokers that I think I'm going to need. Dude, and these mobs are getting so annoying. All right, let me turn that down. Oh my God, that was long overdue. I really never know how to design like a furnace area, but I think this looks cool. We have some barrels up top to store some fuel and maybe some stuff that we can actually cook. And then we have a whole bunch of furnaces and smokers also in the ground right here. I think like a stack of wood could look cool over here. I feel like it could sort of be like fuel for these furnaces. I think that's a pretty cool idea. Of course, let's just chuck a couple chests and stuff on here. That always looks good. And let's strip a couple of these. And I forgot another block. I want campfires. Hold on. With these campfires then, I'm also gonna throw in some oak wood. I think that'll look pretty nice. And then we have a little log pile. Man, I'm so bad at doing interiors. Oh my God. I just do the same things over and over again. I cannot help it. And one of those things, my favorite thing to do is probably a composter with some leaves. Oh yeah, just the best. Also got some glowberry action, so let's throw some of these down. I really want a spore blossom. Maybe I'll come across one of those one day. I think I'm just gonna continue the storage in here. I have no idea what to use this room for, man. Let's make this storage like hay bales. Sure, man. And 2 chests for good measure. I have no idea what I'm doing. All interior decoration is to me is just putting down some random blocks and hoping they work. This wall over here is looking a little bit flat, so I think what I'm gonna do is we're gonna make a big shelf out of some trapdoors. Okay, so something like that out of the dark oak trapdoors. Then on the inside here, we can do our bamboo design. And then once more, we can just throw some chests and stuff. Can I open this chest? I can. Look at that. So good. And then why not, for good measure, throw down one more of these composters with the leaves sticking out. And all right, I would say this place is fairly decorated. I think we just need some lanterns, which I have to go craft, but I'll probably do that at the end. And then the final thing I want to decorate is the area where the cows are actually going to be. So I'm really liking the bamboo accents in here, so I'm going to stick with that. We're going to get some bamboo fences and then some bamboo fence gates. And I think we do something like that, maybe a stair in the middle there. That looks pretty cool. And then while I'm in here, I'm just going to kind of sprinkle in some leaves every so often. I don't really want to go too overboard decorating the inside here. But what I thought could be interesting is like maybe a little like trough or something for them to drink out of? I don't know, man. Did cows even do this? I've never been to a farm. Don't even know if trough is the right word. Someone correct me in the comments, all right? Wait, this is how you spell trough?
Trough.
Wild times we live in, man. Also just throw a small haystack in the middle. Sure, man, looks good to me. For the second floor of this building, I think I'm gonna leave this for another time because I have no idea what I wanna put up here. The functional part of this building is all downstairs. So if you guys have any suggestions on what I could throw up here, please let me know in the comments, then maybe I can come back later and decorate it. I will point out that I kind of fixed this room over here. The roof was really bugging me that it wasn't symmetrical. So I moved this pillar out one, and I took away the pillar that was right here, and I think it looks better. I don't know. This room's still really tough, but I do think it's a slight improvement. Anyway, though, let's shift focus to the main build for this episode. First things first, we need to find a spot to actually put this church. And I'm thinking it can go over here. This is where I was gathering my mud last episode, and it's not too far away from the starter house and the rest of the area. My tentative plan is to eventually also have an iron farm over here, and then this can kind of be the area of like all the ancient buildings and like the ruins that are left. I think it's gonna be pretty sick, and once we link it up to the area, it's gonna fit in really well. Now that we have the location set in stone, let me try to figure out a color palette. Also, I slightly modified the house and the library. So for the library, I put this little top piece on the roof, with some red sandstone walls and some spruce fence gates connecting them. And then for the starter house, I changed the trim from cobbled deep slate to spruce wood. I did both of these things to make it so the roofs are pretty much the same. They just have different colors in the middle. I think the builds now fit together a little bit better. And once we get a few more buildings in this build style, everything's gonna come together really well. I'm thinking for this church build, we get a nice gradient going from tough into andesite, and then finally into diorite. These two might be a little weird to blend, but they do work. Because with the diorite, there's a lot of gray in here. So that kind of matches well with the andesite. Then all I kind of would have to do, I think, is add some glow lichen, which I definitely don't have. Let me see if I can find some really quick so I can show this off in an example. I found a piece of glow lichen, so if I throw that on there, that's gonna blend in a little bit better too. Because, I mean, it's not really gray, but it works. This will be like the main gradient here, right? But each of these levels here, I can probably texture up a little bit more. So at the tough level, all the way at the bottom, we can definitely have some mossy cobble and some moss kind of overgrown down there. That'll look really cool. And then here at the diorite level, we can definitely have some regular cobblestone and then also some smooth stone. And then up here with the diorite, we can have some white concrete powder and maybe some birch logs. And then of course, with the concrete powder, we can also make it into just regular concrete. As for the roof, then I'm thinking about using some copper. Just in the different forms, right? We have to wait for this stuff to actually oxidize down. We have some of these materials, but most of them we do not have enough of. So I'm gonna go ahead and gather up a whole bunch of stuff. Gotta say, man, this video is taking a lot longer to complete than I thought it was going to. I also got distracted part of the way through, and I decided to start recording another video. So I'm sorry that this has taken so long to come out. It's like a month in the making. But here I am collecting up the materials for this church. I started off by gathering up a whole lot of copper. This is a block I don't really build with enough. I really like what copper looks like. I could just never really implement it into any of my builds. The different forms of copper form a super nice natural gradient. So that was the plan here, using these blocks for the roof. Then I went ahead and gathered up one of the main building blocks for the walls, and that is diorite. Another block I don't really use that much of. I'm trying to go out of my comfort zone a little bit when it comes to building on this world. Kind of started that last episode with the bamboo for the roof of the farmhouse, and I'm continuing it here, and I plan on continuing doing that for a bunch of builds in this world. After diorite, I shifted focus to its gray cousin andesite. I'd say I use this block a moderate amount. Whenever I try to build with gray blocks, I will sometimes incorporate this. I wanted to then gather up some gravel, but I realized that my shovel has Fortune 3 on it, which means I can't actually get gravel, I will only get flint. So I went ahead then and enchanted another shovel to get one that didn't have Fortune, and I also got caught up enchanting a little bit, and I got a Silk Touch pickaxe as well. After the enchanting session though, I gathered up some gravel and some sand to craft up all the white concrete powder I'm going to need. With the newly acquired Silk Touch pickaxe, I gathered up a bunch of regular stone. I don't actually end up using this stuff, but I'm sure it'll come in handy one day. And then finally, I gathered a block that I actually didn't mention earlier when I was going over the color palette, and that is calcite. I elected to go with this over the regular birch logs. I just think it looks better with the overall color palette, but I really hope one day that we get some different forms of calcite. The regular block is sick and everything, but I just need more. And would you look at that, after gathering up all the materials, we made it to day 200 in this world, which has me thinking I should probably beat the game soon. I feel like 200 days survived is a long time without elytra. All the materials I gathered are in these two double chests, and I'm definitely going to need to go back and gather some more stuff, but that'll just be for the finishing touches on this build. These materials here though should be more than enough to get myself started and for me to better visualize what this area is going to look like. I also laid out a bunch of copper because I want all this stuff to oxidize all the way, and I set up a couple beehives so we can harvest the honeycomb as I build. I will definitely automate this at some point, but this should be good enough for now. Now I need to plan exactly where this build is going to go. I know I want it in this area, but I think there is some terraforming that I need to do. So I just spent some time digging out the ground here, but I think I'm actually just going to replace a lot of these blocks because I think I want this build to be up here instead. I was going to originally have it down there, but I think up a couple levels, it's going to look a lot nicer. Okay, so I put back some of the ground that I took away. Now though, I need to take out all of these trees because I want a nice and clear area to work with. We now have a huge, really flat area, which is absolutely perfect for me to build on. Now I'm just back in my house, smelting up some food because I only have one more piece of steak left. But once this all smelts, I'm gonna begin building. So let me go ahead and kick it to a time lapse. At this point, I would say the church is like 90% done, at least the exterior of it. The interior is a completely different story, but I'm sure you guys are all pretty familiar with how I handle interiors. I usually just don't do them for a little while. But I think this build is coming along very well. I was a little nervous when I started building this because I thought the walls were going to look too messy with all the different blocks I'm using, but I think they blend together really, really nicely. I wanted to check back in though because I'm out of a couple materials that I need to finish this thing. And there's also a few other things that I want to gather for some final touches. For starters, I have no more copper. And you might notice that these side roofs look a little bit weird. That's because I'm waiting for some of this copper to oxidize. So I'll have to go out and grab some copper. Also, I need to go get some glow lichen. I didn't actually gather any when I was gathering the materials in the first place. Next up then, I need some glass. I can definitely smelt some at the moment, but I don't know what color glass I want just yet. I might try out a couple different colors, or I might just go with the regular normal glass panes, but I'll go around and grab some dyes and stuff and we'll try a couple different variations out. And then the final thing is I want some soulfire lanterns, which very unfortunately means I have to go to the Nether. I really hate the Nether, but it's useful to make your builds look better. I just feel like a combination of those and regular lanterns will look really nice in this build. And I think that's kind of it. I should have like other random decoration blocks I can throw on the exterior of this build just in my storage room, but those should be all of the things that I have to go out of my way to gather. So I guess let's just hit a cave and see if I can find any copper. I'm going to assume this is enough copper. We nearly have 2 stacks of blocks of copper. That should definitely be enough. Now, while I'm waiting for all that copper to smelt, let me head over to the skeleton spawner because I need just a couple bones because I would like to make some bone meal so we can get more of this glow lichen. The glow lichen has been sprinkled around. It's not like a huge difference, but I definitely think it looks a little bit better. I'm gonna put going to the end last because I kind of just don't want to do that. So I'm gonna hop into the ocean here and kill a handful of squids. All right, 29 black dye should be enough to at least know if I want to do this. All right, I have 8 black stained glass and 8 gray stained glass. I kind of just want to combine the both of these and just see what it looks like. It looks kind of weird because you can see where the separation of the glass is, but I do think I like the black stained glass. I'm not really sure what to do with the windows here. I tried a couple different combinations of this colorful glass that I have, and I think I'm just going to go with the black. I had a really cool idea, but I don't think I can fit it into the windows we have because I think they're too small. But that idea was to have like a wither rose in the window design because I don't actually know if I've said this yet. Professional YouTuber here, by the way. But this church is going to be named the Church of the Black Rose or something along those lines. I'll finalize the name eventually. Again, super professional YouTuber here, by the way. And I will be putting some actual lore to this church in this world in a book. And I'm honestly debating on if I want to show that book off in a video or if I just want to leave it to you guys when the world download comes out. Because I have some pretty cool ideas for this church and like where it actually came from and everything like that, and where the wither rose would tie into the lore. I haven't really fully decided on that yet, but whatever. Anyway, the point is this church is to worship the wither rose. And I think it would be cool if I had some like green glass in here to be the stem and then some black glass on the top for like the actual rose part. But I don't think that's gonna look nice but with these really small windows here. So for now, I'm just gonna put black glass everywhere. All of the glass is now in, and I think it fits the vibe of this place pretty well. At least the black glass kind of relates to a wither rose. Not as much as I would like, but I still think it looks cool. Now I've procrastinated long enough. I guess it's about time that we go to the Nether. What do I even need to make these stupid lanterns? Maybe I don't need to go to the Nether. Hold on, it's just soul sand? That's all it is? Why did I think it was more than that? I only have 6 pieces of soul sand. That's gonna make 24 soul torches though, which obviously in turn will make 24 soul lanterns. And I'm gonna be mixing these with regular lanterns. And there's a zombie villager nearby. I'm gonna let him chill. He could do his own thing. I don't really care. But I actually think we avoided going to the Nether because I have like 50 lanterns total. That should be plenty. Now there are only a few more final details I would like to add to this build, and I'm going to get those done right now. Man, wasn't that just the best transition you've ever seen in your entire life? You know, it takes a truly genius editor to pull off something like that. But I am completely finished with this build now, so I think I'm gonna throw on some shaders, and we're gonna do a little walk around. I have no idea why this happens with this shader, but the leaves look horrible from a distance. It's only when I'm using like the custom leaves too. I don't know why it does this, so just for now, I'm gonna turn those off. If anyone knows why it's doing that, I would definitely like to know. But with those off now, let's go over this build. Now, I didn't really do all that much to finish off this build. I kind of just threw in this pathway here. We have it bordered with some moss, some spruce fences, and some leaves. And I also threw in 4 custom trees. I have 2 oak custom trees using some azalea leaves and some moss. And I also have a couple birch custom trees, just using some of the diorite walls and some birch fences and stuff like that. And I think they both look pretty nice. I've been trying to get better at making custom trees, and one way that I'm doing that is by taking inspiration from other creators. So for these oak custom trees, I took a ton of inspiration from Zantics. I will leave a link to his channel down below. He has a hardcore series as well, and he's a fantastic builder, so definitely go ahead and check him out if you're interested. He's also a smaller channel than mine, so definitely show him a ton of love. But these trees look kind of similar to his. I think I'm using different leaves for the tops. But he used a lot of like spruce trapdoors and spruce fence gates and stuff in his, and I really liked how his trees looked. So I kind of tried to copy them a little bit. I definitely made them smaller, because I just kind of felt like the scale of this area, it called for some smaller trees. But just a few of his details I took. So if you're watching this, Zantics, thank you so much. I really liked your custom trees. But to finish off this video, let me take a quick fly around in replay mod so we can see the full scale of this build. I am so happy with how this build turned out. I think this area is going to look phenomenal once I start putting some more buildings up over here too. And also, there's going to be a bunch of lore scattered across this world. And I've come to the decision that I'm not going to show off the books in videos. I'm going to leave that up to you guys. So when I make a world download link at 500 days in this world, you guys can explore it yourself and uncover the truth of this world. Thank you so much for watching though. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.